The floor is yours, Rabbi.
Thank you very much, Pete. It's a true honor for me to address the One Democratic Palestine's annual general meeting here today. I would like to express my deep appreciation for its chairman, Mr. Pete Gregson, for this invitation. I have known Mr. Gregson for quite a while, and my colleagues in Europe have been working with him for years. At this opportunity, I would like to salute Mr. Gregson for his ongoing great work, and in particular, his hosting my colleague Rabbi Dovid Weiss in the recent Muslim and Jew tour, which was a great success in over a dozen cities in Great Britain. My name is Rabbi Dovid Feldman, a spokesman for Neturei Karta International, an organization based in a number of major cities in the world. Our goal is to voice the position of masses of religious Jews worldwide in their total opposition to the existence of the State of Israel, its occupation of Palestine, and all crimes committed against the Palestinian people. Neturei Karta has been around since 1938, about a decade prior to the creation of the State of Israel. Like all followers of traditional Judaism, we oppose the philosophy of Zionism, the concept of statehood for Jews, simply because we follow Judaism, which forbids Jews to have their own country. The Torah teaches that we are in exile by divine decree, and we are prohibited to end this exile by any physical means. Jews are required by their religion to live peacefully with their neighbors and humbly under their host nations, respecting their leaders, not rebelling against them or strive for self-determination. Furthermore, Jews are forbidden to kill or harm others' property. Stealing another people's land, expelling or oppressing them is not permitted in Judaism. The Zionist occupation of Palestine and all its atrocities are not just criminal according to basics of human rights, but are a true violation of Judaism as well. We promote ending the entire Zionist occupation of Palestine and the peaceful dismantlement of the whole State of Israel. This is required by the Jewish religion, and we believe that this is the only path to build a foundation for future peace. One way that this may someday become a reality is the formation of a One Democratic Palestine, a country where Muslims, Christians, and Jews can live side by side as equal citizens. That's why we admire the work of Mr. Gregson and his organization. In our various ongoing activities, we present the traditional religious-based opposition to Zionism. We travel the world to express the solidarity of masses of Jews with the suffering people of Palestine. We educate our audience on the great difference between Judaism, a religion that teaches faith in God and obedience to his commandments, versus Zionism, a political movement to take over a piece of land. We help people overcome the Zionist propaganda that if you oppose Zionists, you are automatically an anti-Semite. It's true that there is, and for a long time has been, anti-Semitism in the world. But when someone criticizes a Jew for a crime he committed, it doesn't become anti-Semitic. When someone complains that he was robbed, it is not because he has hatred to the nation to which the perpetrator belongs. When a victim refuses to accept the occupation of his land or the oppression of his people, it doesn't make him anti-Semitic. And that's another reason why we admire Mr. Pete Gregson. He knows what real anti-Semitism is and what Jews have endured in the past. He understands the horrific suffering of Jews in the Holocaust, and at the same time understands that the Palestinian people are not responsible and do not have to pay the price. He knows that supporting Israel is not support for Jews or Judaism, and neither is opposing Israel anti-Semitic. Pro-Palestinian activism is an attempt to bring justice to an oppressed people. This activism is not at all a threat to Jews. It is confronting crimes committed by individuals who embarrassingly happen to be mainly of Jewish descent. The verses of the Torah are full of the ideal of justice for the oppressed, and support for the Palestinians is a prime example of those Torah teachings. The reaction to our activities in general had been very positive. People learn that the Jewish religion and traditional Jews also oppose the crimes that are taking place. People say that we have opened their eyes to what Jews and Judaism really are. The reaction in the Arab and Muslim world is overwhelmingly positive. We are always embraced and warmly welcomed with utmost friendship and respect. They express their outlook and desire for future coexistence and peace with all races and religions, including the Jewish people. They recall their history of peaceful life with Jews as their neighbors, and they want to see that again in the future. Within the Jewish world, we have seen a variety of reactions. The Zionists, of course, hate us. They harass, intimidate, and threaten us. Their government persecutes our members who face constant arrest, brutal treatment at demonstrations, and night raids traumatizing entire families. There are many videos of those incidents. This treatment is reserved for the religious anti-Zionist communities. By contrast, the recent wave of left-wing secular anti-government protests is not facing this level of harassments. Earlier this year, after a solidarity visit to the Jenin refugee camp, members of our delegation were arrested by the Israeli forces, with National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir calling for their deportation. But among traditional religious Jews, most are not Zionists. Over the years, Jews are becoming increasingly aware of the falsehood of the Zionist ideology, and we are finding that more and more Jews are ready to take a public stand against the Zionist movement. Regarding the solution and outlook for the future, we need to remember that Jews can live with Muslims in peace. History attests that in the past, Jews lived in Palestine side by side with their neighbors, respecting and protecting each other, as was the case throughout the Middle Eastern lands. And this can happen again today. On the contrary, it is the existence of the State of Israel and the continued occupation that fuels hate and causes danger to all. Let's continue to work toward those future days of peace. Let's break down the barriers and build bridges of understanding, trust, and respect. Ultimately, let's await the time predicted by the prophet Isaiah, when nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they study war anymore. Thank you very much.
Thank you.